Okay. Hi, I'm your host, India Miles, and welcome to another episode of the Cry But Don't Quit show. So today we have another guest who's going to share her self-worth challenge and hopefully, some advice that I could give you on that topic. Would you like to go
Yes,
ahead and introduce yourself
I'm
to our
excited
viewers?
about that. First of all, thank you for having me here.
No worries.
Hi, India. My name is Sharon Alvarado, and I am a mother of four, a grandmother of nine. And when I became a widow at 25, I became that person that everybody depended on. So I showed up for years just being the one that was there for the family, and I made ends meet and put everybody else's needs before myself.
Yeah.
And that became my identity.
Yeah.
So I'm in a new season now. I'm building a business. I'm walking in purpose, and I'm creating a space that I've never done before. But with that comes the guilt of change. And that's what I'm struggling with right now is how to walk through in the change and say, okay, it's okay, right? So I would show up for myself and prioritize my time, respect my time, and actually focus on what I'm building. But it's it's hard because I feel so guilty because it's not how I've lived all my life. So I don't want to abandon myself, but I do want to learn and find a way to navigate through that without having to feel like I'm letting anybody down. You know what I mean?
Well, the truth of it is you are going to let some people down. If your identity has become not so much people pleasing, but self sacrifice, where it's everyone first, and then at the end of the day, the 11th hour, then let me check in with myself. Then the advice that I give, uh, one, your self worth has been defined by what you can do for others
Yeah.
or how much glory and attention you get because these people are pleased with what you're doing for them. But when you're not available or when you need that availability, it's not reciprocated. So in order to break that cycle, you are going to let some people down. And overall, the biggest change is that that temptation you have to return to your former self is not going to change until your circumstances change. The people, the environments, the habits that you practice, it's just like breaking any other pattern where if you are still allowing yourself to be guilted into organizing Thanksgiving dinner or traveling to go see or giving someone money in your family, those things don't stop until you make a conscious effort to change what your life looks like on a day-to-day basis, your availability. Where do you kind of congregate with others that pour into you, celebrate you for being you? What I heard you say was I shifted over from being this for everybody else, but we're going to talk about your business for a second. And this is something that we're all guilty of is that maybe we're breaking out of the identity when it comes to, close loved ones, but we create wellness businesses or caregiving businesses or businesses that are still taking care of people. So how does that land for you when you think of the patterns, the environments, the cycle that you've been in where it sounds like it's been 30 plus years?
Oh, it's been decades. And that was my thing is how do I break through these patterns that have been there for decades without feeling guilty for stepping into a new season and choosing myself? What you explained to me just kind of gave me a space to think it's okay. It's okay. Your identity is not rooted in who you were, but it is now a new season to see who you're becoming. And that's okay because when we go through those seasons, and today I am in a place where I'm building a business, surrounding myself with people who speak life into me. That is exactly where I need to be. And most women need to hear that because the guilt, the mom guilt, is real, right? Especially when it was so prevalent in my identity. So you saying change my environment, um, notice the patterns. First, notice the patterns of not having to be the one who plans Thanksgiving dinner, plans all these holidays, is just the one showing up and actually sitting well in it. It's going to eventually give me what I need and also show my family a different side of me, right? It's just very exciting because if my identity was strictly because I was fending for themselves and now they get to see me grow and flourish, it's the same thing as it is for me, where it's hard, it's guilt, I feel guilty. It's different for them to see me that way. And as they see me grow, they're gonna feel this they're gonna see me for a different person of who I am and feel proud and actually look at me in a different season and know anything's possible.
Well, I'm still hearing a lot of
Oh.
external validation. Did y'all hear it? I still am
Yes.
hearing a lot of, and this show is about self-worth.
Okay.
A lot of other experts out there when it comes to identity work, image, and brokenness or healing. That's not what I'm called to do. So I want to be very specific when it comes to your self-worth. You just did it as you were sharing the change that you were going to make. Being conscious about your reasons why. Self-worth is not something you have to earn. It's not something you have to achieve. You do not have to strive to be accepted or loved or appreciated, to just be. And you don't know what that feels like yet, to just not care if they see this other version of you, if they see the worst version of you. You've got to arrive at a place in your womanhood where it doesn't matter either way, because you know that you're worthy of good treatment either way, regardless of, how you show up. And that's more of an internal decision for you to approach life without a task sheet of like, hey, I'm now going to be super conscious about not being this way, and let's see the responses I get. It's all internal, and it really truly starts with your surroundings and the patterns that you take on, where it's evident today that there's a big pattern of external validation, and people that struggle with self-worth, they need a lot of external validation. They need to call their mom, their sister, their friends. Hey, do you think it's okay that I told them no, that I'm not going to do Thanksgiving this year? When you find yourself in those conversations, you're not really solid in the work of worthiness, okay? And how to strengthen that is just to get yourself around people who are, and environments that don't ask anything of you. They literally just let you show up, and regardless, I don't know if you felt invisible, because those of us that are helpers and servants and we give a lot, we don't know what it feels like to just sit in the back of the room and don't. We're guilty of it. Just don't want to be seen or involved in the setup or the breakdown or helping anyone, just to be there so that we can appreciate it.
Wow.
Now that I've called you out on that, I
Wow.
definitely put you in the hot seat.
I need to be in the hot seat.
Did you
I
catch
didn't even
yourself doing
realize
that?
it. I didn't realize it till you mentioned it. And then when you're speaking, I felt so convicted. And when you're convicted,
that
you just have a
tendency.
passion to
I do,
change,
I do.
right?
Okay.
And that's a good thing. I needed to hear that. To feel invisible, and just to be okay with being in the back where people don't need anything from you. Okay. I got that.
It?
I got that.
All right.
I received that.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Viewers, if you can relate to this topic of, you really didn't get a choice. You were a teen mom, you got married young, survived abuse, or survived, a whole 2-3 decades of just being this person. And now she's taking back her choice, and it still exists, the temptations to be who you've always been, and the tools to now transition over to becoming who you want to be, which is this woman that doesn't have to feel guilty and doesn't have to perform or to participate in order to just enjoy a better quality of life. So if you can relate to that, definitely reach out, comment, like, subscribe, and let us know what you took from today's episode. I want to thank you for being here and your
Thank you for
bravery to
having
share
me.
your challenge.
Thank you for your advice. I received it, and as you're speaking, I'm already getting excited of
What you're going to do? Now,
just how
before-
it's gonna feel for me, just in myself sitting in it.
I love it. I think
I'm
that's the
gonna
easy
process
thing to
everything.
do. I mean, it's going to be very hard, but it's the
course.
easiest, it's the most affordable. You know, you don't have to go to therapy, you don't have to do any of that. You just have to practice, you know, sitting and being and see who shows up and what shows up when you are not performing or participating or making someone else's life easier. Okay?
Okay.
Before I let you go, would you like to recognize your business or charity or anything else that you
Yes.
want our viewers to know?
Sure, thank you. I would like to recognize my business. I founded SA Strategies, and what we do is we focus on financial empowerment, and we help people gain more freedom and ownership of their lives. And you can find me on Instagram, Sharon_strategies.
Awesome. Well, thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here, Sharon.
Thank you for
and
having
again,
me.
for your bravery. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.